You think love is easy to recognize. The constant texts, the affection, the attention, the way she makes time for you. But the truth is, the deepest kind of love rarely looks the way most men expect. Some of the strongest signs are actually confusing, and one of them can even look like she's pulling away from you. Yet, that behavior may be the clearest proof she's fallen harder for you than she ever has for anyone else. Most men completely misunderstand how women show real emotional attachment. Studies on relationships have shown that a huge number of men misread the deepest signals of female connection. That means there are men walking around right now believing a woman is losing interest when in reality she's becoming more emotionally attached every day. What I'm talking about here is not casual attraction or temporary excitement, sincere. This is the kind of love that changes how a woman thinks, reacts, and emotionally processes the world around her. And once you understand these signs, you'll stop making the mistake of confusing deep love with distance. The first sign is when she lets you see the parts of herself that aren't polished or impressive. She stops trying to appear perfect around you. You see her exhausted, emotional, frustrated, stressed, wearing messy clothes with no effort to hide the real version of herself. Most men think this simply means she's comfortable, but there's something much deeper happening underneath it. Pay attention to what she openly shares and what she avoids mentioning. A woman deeply in love will reveal her flaws and vulnerable moments, but she becomes strangely silent about other men. She won't constantly talk about people flirting with her. She won't casually bring up exes or make you feel like you're competing for her attention. It's almost as if the rest of the options around her slowly disappear from focus. Psychologists describe this as selective emotional attention. When a woman becomes emotionally attached at a deep level, her mind naturally prioritizes the person she loves while tuning out alternatives. And ironically, many men misunderstand this silence. They assume she's hiding something when often it's the exact opposite. Her lack of interest in other men may actually be one of the strongest signs that her heart is fully invested in you. The second sign is something you may never even witness directly. She protects your image when you're not around. This is one of the most powerful indicators of genuine love because it happens privately in conversations you'll probably never hear. When a woman truly loves a man, she naturally defends him in front of friends, coworkers, or family. If someone criticizes you unfairly, she speaks up. If people question your intentions or disrespect you, she doesn't stay silent. And what makes this even more meaningful is that she may still defend you even during moments when she's upset with you personally. That doesn't mean she thinks you're perfect. It means your value matters deeply to her. Your reputation becomes emotionally connected to the relationship itself. In her mind, protecting you also means protecting the bond you share together. You can often notice this indirectly. Watch how people around her speak about you when she's present. If they seem more respectful or careful with their words around her, it's usually because she's already made it clear that disrespect toward you won't be tolerated. A woman who is deeply in love fights quiet battles for you that you may never know existed. And when that protection disappears completely, it often means her emotional attachment is fading too. The third sign is that she remembers details you forgot long ago and quietly turns them into meaningful actions. You mentioned something small one time, maybe a childhood snack you loved, a random memory, a favorite song, or something you once wanted to do. Weeks later, she brings it back into your life like it mattered all along. To you, it may have seemed unimportant, but to her, anything connected to you becomes emotionally valuable. That's because deep emotional attachment changes the way memory works. People remember things more intensely when emotions are involved. And a woman in love pays attention to details most people ignore. But what makes this powerful is not just that she remembers, it's how she uses those memories. She turns tiny observations into comfort, surprises, thoughtful gifts, and emotional connection. She studies the little things that make you feel understood. And most men completely overlook this. They notice the gift, but not the fact that she remembered a sentence they casually said 2 months ago. That level of attention doesn't come from surface attraction. It comes from emotional investment so deep that even your smallest words stay alive in her mind long after the conversation ends. You casually mention a problem at work one afternoon, and weeks later, she suddenly asks if things ever got better with your boss. You talk once about something you dreamed of doing as a kid, and later you realize she's been quietly looking into it behind the scenes. Most men don't realize how important this actually is. When a woman is deeply in love, her mind naturally places your life at the center of her emotional attention. There's real psychology behind this. The brain begins treating information connected to the person she loves as highly important. She isn't forcing herself to remember these things. They stay with her automatically because you've become emotionally significant in her inner world. But it goes even deeper than memory. She's slowly learning who you are beneath the surface. She notices your habits, your reactions, the things that stress you, the things that motivate you, the insecurities you try to hide, and the dreams you rarely speak about. All of it gets stored away. Why? Because real love creates a desire to understand someone completely. She wants to know how to support you before you even ask for help. She wants to understand your emotions sometimes better than you understand them yourself. And yes, sometimes this can feel intense. During arguments, she may suddenly bring up something you said months ago. She remembers patterns you didn't even realize existed. She connects situations together in ways that surprise you. A lot of men think this is manipulation, but often it's the opposite. It's proof she's been paying attention the entire time. People who don't care don't study your words. They don't remember tiny emotional details. But someone deeply attached to you absorbs everything because you matter deeply to them. If she remembers even the uncomfortable parts of your life, it usually means you occupy a permanent space in her mind. Now, here's the sign that confuses almost every man. The one that often gets mistaken for emotional distance. She becomes comfortable being silent with you, not cold or disconnected silence. Peaceful silence, the kind where neither of you feels pressure to constantly entertain the other. She can sit beside you quietly, scroll through her phone, read, relax, or simply exist near you without needing nonstop conversation. Most men panic when this happens. They assume the excitement is fading, but real emotional intimacy often looks calm, not dramatic. When a woman feels emotionally safe with you, silence stops feeling uncomfortable. Your presence alone becomes enough. But if you really want to understand how deeply she's fallen for you, pay attention to the next sign because this happens almost unconsciously. She begins building her future with you in mind without even realizing she's doing it. She starts making decisions while naturally factoring you into them. When she looks at opportunities, your location matters. When she plans trips or events, she checks your availability automatically. Even choices about work, lifestyle, or long-term goals slowly begin including you. This doesn't mean she's losing herself. It means emotionally she's beginning to see the two of you as connected instead of separate. Now, let's talk about something most people misunderstand completely: conflict. A lot of men think arguments mean the relationship is falling apart. But when a woman truly loves you, the way she handles conflict changes in a very noticeable way. She stops fighting just to be right. She fights because she wants resolution. Even when she's hurt, her goal becomes fixing the connection instead of destroying it. She brings problems up because she wants the relationship to survive, not because she wants to humiliate you. And this is important. Sometimes she stays calmer than expected during serious disagreements, not because she doesn't care, but because losing the relationship scares her more than winning the argument. That emotional shift changes everything. And finally, the last sign. Your happiness starts affecting her like it's her own. When something good happens to you, she feels genuinely excited. Your victories make her proud. Your progress makes her emotional. If you accomplish something important, she celebrates it with real joy because your happiness becomes emotionally tied to hers. And when life hurts you, she feels that too. Your stress affects her mood. Your disappointments weigh on her emotionally because she's no longer experiencing life as just hers in her heart. Your worlds have become connected. So if you're seeing these signs in a woman, don't ignore them or misunderstand them. A woman who shows you her imperfect side, protects you when you're absent, remembers small details about your life, feels peaceful and silence with you, quietly includes you in her future, fights to repair instead of destroy, and celebrates your happiness like it belongs to her. That's not surface level attraction, that's deep emotional love. And most people go their entire lives without experiencing it in a real way. At the end of the day, deep love is rarely loud or obvious. It's not just about romantic words, constant attention, or dramatic gestures. Sometimes the strongest signs appear in the quietest moments, in the way she remembers small details, protects your name when you're not around, sits peacefully beside you in silence, and slowly builds her future with you in mind without even realizing it. A woman who truly loves you doesn't just want your attention. She wants your peace, your growth, your happiness, and your presence in her life long term. She begins to experience your victories as her own and your pain as something she feels too. That kind of connection goes far beyond attraction. It becomes emotional loyalty, deep attachment, and genuine partnership. And the biggest mistake most men make is misreading these behaviors. They confuse comfort with boredom, silence with distance, and emotional investment with control. But once you understand these signs, you stop looking only at what she says and start paying attention to how deeply she shows up in your life. Because when a woman is truly deeply in love with you, it changes the way she thinks, feels, remembers, protects, and connects. And if you're lucky enough to experience that kind of love, don't take it lightly. Very few people ever find something that